Prabhupada. Jaya Gurudeva, Gurudeva, Mahavishnu Goswami Gurudeva. Jaya Gurudeva, Gurudeva, Mahavishnu Goswami Gurudeva. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Agnana Timirandhasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Caitanya Manobhistam Stampitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapa Dantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Shya Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pisthaya Bhutale Srimate Mahavishnu Goswami Niti Namine Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam Devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udirayet Nashra praeshva bhadreshu Nityam bhagavata sevaya Bhagavati uttam shloke Bhaktir bhavate nashiki Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Gaurpanima Mahamahotsav ki Jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Just 1 minute, please. I'm just quickly putting up on Facebook conversation. Just excuse me. So, welcome everyone to our special program today on the appearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And this is the devotees, the leaders Sangha devotees, the Realisations program. And it's a 2-day festival that we are organizing. One is today, and tomorrow is a Real Day festival, where we'll have program in the evening in New Zealand, which will be midday afternoon around that time in India. So see how many of you can come. But anyway, we'd like to welcome everyone today, and we'll start the program and encourage now the leaders and the devotees, if you can please, if you like to speak your realization. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you, His Grace Amrish Prabhu, and Her Grace Pragya Devidasi Mataji, and His Grace Krishna Prabhu for organizing this wonderful program and giving us the chance to share our realizations. Um, and very on this auspicious occasion of Shri Gaur Purnima Mahotsav, we assembled here to share our realizations. So this is very one of very important festival for us. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, so we all understand that. And yes, so we know that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came in the mood of Srimati Radharani, and it is the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are described in Chaitanya Charitamrita, and which is like a postgraduate study, postgraduate level study. So in a systematical manner, so we study Bhagavad Gita first, and then Srimad Bhagavatam, and then Chaitanya Charitamrita. But in small books, Srila Prabhupada, one of the small books, Srila Prabhupada gave teachings of Lord Chaitanya, and in which Srila Prabhupada explained the different pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and who is Krishna himself, and described as he came in 5 different potencies, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Nityanand Prabhu, Sri Advaita Prabhu, Gadadhar, and Shivas. So yeah, so it's called Panch Tattva. So so they are so it's called Panch Tattva. And Srila Prabhupada explained that in Bhagavad Gita, which is in the Lord Krishna gave his last instructions that everyone should give up all other engagements and should engage in the devotion service of the Lord, which is in chapter 18, Sarva Dharman Pritajya Mamekam Sharanam Raja Aham Tvam Sarvapapebhyo Mokshishyami Masucha. So, like, give up all varieties of dharmas, Sarva Dharman Pritajya, and come in my and surrender unto me. But Srila Prabhupada is saying that after his disappearance, persons with less intelligence or misunderstood him, and they become contaminated with Mayavadi philosophy, which produced many mental speculators, that people became like misled about the actual position of absolute truth and living entity. Like in different Mayavadi philosophies are around, and they, yeah, it's different. Srila Prabhupada explaining that when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited Banaras, so there is another, it's a lot of Mayavadis were there, and Buddhists also, they got a different philosophy of Buddhist of Sarnath, and they also propagate this Mayavadi philosophies, because they want to, different Mayavadis in Banaras, they're very fond of reading or studying Vedanta philosophy, and misinterpreting the Vedanta philosophy in their suiting their own philosophy, or what they want to believe, So Srila Prabhupada was explaining that that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu defeated all these, so-called Mayavadis, and he took sannyas, and then he visited in different places and defeated those Mayavadis, and delivered all the fallen souls. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, therefore, although Lord Krishna himself, again, he appeared to teach to the fallen souls of this material world how to approach Lord Krishna. So how we can perform devotional service, how we can approach Lord Krishna. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inaugurated this Sankirtana movement, so which is a Yuga Dharma also. So he also gave a sublime doctrine, Achintya Bheda Bhed, simultaneously oneness and difference. Achintya, Bheda, and Abheda. So same time, it's same, like simultaneously one and different. So this philosophy is famous. It's like, yeah, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave this philosophy, and according to, like, in Bhagavad Gita, it's a lot of different verses. So in chapter 11, that's where we also studying that now in our latest program, that universal form. So where Lord Krishna showed Arjuna his universal form, and Arjuna saw all the demigods, planets, universes, unlimited, divine forms. So everything is inside Krishna, but same time Krishna is outside. So this Achinta Bheda Bhed Tattva is we can found. And in one of the couple of verses towards the end, Arjuna was saying that, because after seeing that, he got bit bit afraid, like, and he realized that Arjuna said that, thinking of you as my friend, I have rashly addressed you, O Krishna, O Yadav, O my friend, not knowing your glories. Please forgive whatever I may have done in madness or in love. I have dishonored you many times, jesting as the relaxed lay on the same bed or sat on it together, sometimes alone and sometimes in front of many friends. O infallible one, please excuse me for all these offenses. So here Arjuna is realizing after seeing Krishna that he's like, so it's big universal form, like everything is included in Krishna. And he's asking pardon. Srila Prabhupada is saying that he's asking pardon for informal behavior, after seeing the universal form of Krishna. Actually, Lord Krishna is not covered by his, he's covered by his potencies and only reveal himself when Krishna wants to reveal. And another point is that Krishna wants to reciprocate in different relationships by devotees. And thus, by his causeless mercy, he allows devotees in different relationships. So, these relationships, it can be different, like in 5 major rasas we know, and but the conjugal love, that's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is he's in the mood of that conjugal love. So actually Srila Prabhupada explained this in this book when I was reading this chapter, that there are two kinds of devotees, I'll just see this one. pure devotee and the confidential devotee. Srila Prabhupada are explaining that the difference, there is a specific difference between the pure devotee and the confidential devotee. Different potencies of the Lord are engaged in serving the Supreme Lord in different transcendental relationships. They are situated in conjugal love, in parental affection, in friendly affinity, and in obedient servitude. By impartial judgment, it is found that the eternal potencies of the Supreme Lord engaged in conjugal love with him are the best of all devotees. As such, both internal devotees and confidential devotees are attracted by the conjugal love of the Supreme Absolute Truth and are the most confidential devotees of the Lord Chaitanya. Other pure devotees who are more or less attached to Sri Nityanand Prabhu and to Advaita Prabhu are attracted by other transcendental relationships, such as parental affection, friendly affinity, and obedient servitude. When such devotees are very much attached to the activities of Lord Chaitanya, at once they become confidential devotees in conjugal love with the Supreme Lord. So here, all these rasas, but the conjugal love is considered to be the higher, it's confidential. So pure devotees also they relish different relationships with the Lord, but when Srila Prabhupada saying, when the devotees are very much attached to the activities of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is because he's in the mood of Srimati Radharani. So conjugal love is the paramount, So they become the confidential devotees of the Lord. So this is one of the other points that I realized. And another in the same chapter 11, where in the end, verse 54, Krishna tells that only by undivided devotion service can I be understood as I am standing before you. So it is because so only because of the undivided devotion service we can see Krishna, or we can realize Krishna as he is. And in the last paragraph of the purport, Srila Prabhupada are explaining that the universal form is not attractive for pure devotees who are in love with the Lord in different transcendental relationships. The Supreme Godhead exchanges transcendental love in his original form of Krishna. Therefore, to Arjuna, who was so intimately related with Krishna in friendship, this form of the universal manifestation was not pleasing. Rather, it was fearful. Arjuna, who was a constant companion of Krishna's, must have had transcendental eyes. He was not an ordinary man. Therefore, he was not captivated by the universal form. This form may seem wonderful to persons who are involved in elevating themselves by fruitive activities, but to persons who are engaged in devotional service, the two-handed form of Krishna is the most dear one. So here we can understand that the universal form is well, Krishna showed is fearful, is captivated by other people, but because Arjuna was very intimate friend, and he was in relationship with the friendly relationship with the Lord, so he understand that. So he requested Krishna that he don't please show me again the two-handed form. So so here we can understand that it's undivided devotional service that we can achieve Krishna, or we can attain the love of Godhead. So there is the verse, it's a famous verse that Srila Rupa Goswami addressed Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the giver. He is distributing the love of Godhead freely without any discrimination in this world. So he's the only incarnation, or he's the only he's the only personality, as the personality of Godhead. He's giving without any discrimination he doesn't see any qualification. We don't have to have any qualification, pre-qualification to participate in the Sankirtana Mahayagna, So everybody can participate. Everybody can receive this mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And the verse is that we all knows that Namo Mahavadanaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gora Taveshe Namaha. O most munificent incarnation, you are Krishna himself, appearing as Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You have assumed the golden color of Srimati Radharani, and you are widely distributing pure love of Krishna. We offer our respectful obeisances unto you. Yeah. So again, I conclude here. So on this auspicious occasion, I pray to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to bestow mercy upon us and engage us in the devotional service of the Lord. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you for giving us the chance.
Hare Krishna, Sanjay Prabhu. Thank you very much for your nice presentation, for starting the program. You're always the first one, one who takes a risk.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank
Very
you for
nice.
the opportunity.
So all of you can hear me all right? You can hear me all right? Okay. Yeah, I hope you can hear me. Just tell me yes or no.
Yes, Prabhu.
Normal?
Yes,
Okay.
Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. I request all others to please switch on your cameras. So, leaders, we are celebrating the appearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Gaur Purnima, on 2 days. First is today, which is the day before, and second is tomorrow, which is on the day. And because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are the pioneer, actually he is Krishna himself. He is our main Ishtadev for all the devotees, for the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. So, as much information as we know about him, philosophically also, him also, is better for us. That is our idea of conducting this program 2 days. And we hope that all the devotees, those who are participating in speaking also, and those who are hearing, they can take advantage of it. Okay. So who would like to go next? Thank you very much. Who would like to go next? Hare Krishna. Yes, okay.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you, Ambrish Prabhu, for and his Her Grace Punbega Mataji and His Grace Krishna Samarpan Krishna Prabhu for organizing this Gaur Purnima Festival Realization Program and giving us opportunity to share our realization. So, first of all, so today actually we are celebrating Gaur Purnima festival. So the appearance day of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. As everybody know that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has a great significance, in our Hare Krishna movement. So we came to know about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because of Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev, because we always heard about Lord Krishna. But for me, even actually when I started in this journey, actually I didn't have any information of Lord Chaitanya. So we only came to know about Lord Chaitanya and his mercy because of Srila Prabhupada. So first of all, actually, happy Gaur Purnima Mahotsava to all of you. So I would like to start my realization with same prayer that Sanjay Prabhu shared that we also sing every day, when we do the offering to Lord Krishna. Namo Mahavadannaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratuse Namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O most magnificent incarnation, you are Krishna himself, appearing as Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You have assumed the golden color of Srimati Radharani, and you are widely distributing the pure love of Krishna. We offer our respectful obeisances unto you. So this verse itself describes, about Lord Chaitanya. So he's Krishna himself, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he's assumed the golden color of Srimati Radharani. So I was also listening to Srila Prabhupada, he's one of this lecture given on Gaur Purnima Mahotsav, where Srila Prabhupada actually he pointed out this very important point that Lord Krishna, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And in Bhagavad Gita, actually, he speaks like he is a Supreme Personality of Godhead. He orders, he do not request. So where he says, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja Sarvatam Sarva Papebhyo Moksha Ishami Ma Sucha. So Srila Prabhupada says that actually instruction given by Lord Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they are very similar. They're one and the same. But in Bhagavad Gita, actually, I was meditating on this point, and even Ambrish Prabhu asked, we should actually share our realization from what we learn using Bhagavad Gita and other texts. So I was trying to actually found actually, the instruction, similarities, what Krishna spoke versus what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he gave a lot of instruction. I didn't actually study it myself, Chaitanya Charitamrita, but I heard from many sources, Ambrish Prabhu, Srila Prabhupada's lectures. There's always a lot of information about Lord Chaitanya. We actually got to hear. And their famous verses, Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Namaiva Kevalam, Kalau Nasti Eva, Nasti Eva, Nasti Eva Gatiranyatha. So I always thought this is actually one of the most important instruction, coming from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that in this age of Kali, age of quarrel, our only way of salvation or getting out of this birth and death cycle is to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So initially, I also used to think, said what is in this name? I used to actually doubt myself initially that how can one just chant this mantra and can actually get liberated? So actually got to know, so I wanted to actually find out, how it is so possible by just chanting the name, one can get so much benefits or actually spiritual elevation. So that is actually explained in actually even in Bhagavad Gita as well, where in chapter 9, similar instruction. So verse 14, where Krishna says, Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantasya dridvrita nama santasya mam bhaktya nitya yukta upasate. Always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me, this great soul perpetually worship me with devotion. So Srila Prabhupada in the purport actually he is actually explaining the point of Mahatmas, and Duratma, where say Mahatmas are always engaged in devotional service, they always chant Krishna's glories. And Lord Chaitanya is also instructed the same, that we should chant, Hare Krishna very loudly. This instruction, Ambrish Prabhu actually, he spoke in one of his lectures. Initially, I was very new, where he told me that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that I'm a fool. He said, I'm the fool. But my Guru Maharaj told me that your only way to get liberated is to chant this Mahamantra very loudly, And if you chant this, then it is possible to get out of this material existence. So that instruction actually really inspired me, because I always thought that, I know that I was very fallen. And if Lord Chaitanya says that, who's actually, at that point, I got to know that Krishna himself is saying, there must be some value to it, So I started chanting initially. I don't used to chant 16 round, whatever I can chant, but I used to chant very loudly. So it does actually made a lot of difference. Initially, we got to actually, we used to remember all the anarthas that we did in the past. So I used to ask the question to Ambrish Prabhu, why I feel all this, nonsensical things coming to my mind while chanting. So Ambrish Prabhu told me that this is the Krishna's mercy, Hari Krupa Tab Jani Jab Dikhe Apna Dosh. So I surprised, actually all these things I'm remembering because it's actually Krishna's mercy. So just keep chanting, So slowly, you actually progress, and it's so true. It actually experienced by many devotees. The Amrit will eventually come out, even in the Samudra Manthan, the churning of the ocean that happened. The first thing that came out is actually the poison, the Amrit came out later. So first we have to actually get rid of all the anarthas first, and then you will actually qualify yourself to taste the nectar. So it does take time, so that is the most important thing I realize. And Lord Chaitanya actually, he says is a Mahavadannaya avatar and is very merciful. Even the kirtan that you sing, we all sing. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Koro More, Tum Bina Ke Dayalu Jagata Samsare, Patita Pavan Hetu Tava Avatara, Mosama Patita Prabhu Na Pai Bear. So actually this is a perfect, combination that means I am Patit, fallen, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Patita Pavan. And he is the most Dayalu avatar, is most munificent avatar. So actually this gives you a lot of actually confidence, when you're actually beginning on the spiritual journey, because we always doubt that, because it seems very hard, you chant 16 round, you follow the regulative principles. So sometimes we feel that are we going to make it to the end line? But when you actually hear about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his actually leelas, Jagai Madhai leelas, all this, so that really gives you actually a little bit inspiration that you can also do it. So coming back to the same point, that what is in the name. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually, as we all know, that he left only 8 instructions that we call Sishtashtakam, which are very, very important. And those 8 instructions are actually, they are called, they are the samam bonam of all the Vedic instruction. In those 8 instructions, Lord Chaitanya has given everything. So I would like to actually just share a couple of them, and I would like to share my realization. Cheto darpana marjanam bhavmahadavagni nirvapanam Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadhu Jivanam Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam Pratipadam Purnamrita Swadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. So in this first verse, the glories of Sri Krishna Sankirtanam is given. Where very first point where it say Cheto Darpana Marjanam. So actually this is a very instructive, because we all know that our consciousness, Chetana, because we have committed so many sins. I have committed so many sins in this life, and many lives, in the past, that our consciousness is covered by all this anarthas, dust. So the darpan, actually consciousness, is compared to a mirror, and the mirror has so much dust accumulated for many years. And the only way we can clean is to by chant the actually Harinam, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and it helps us to actually cleanse all these anarthas. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given this instruction, and also Bhaumaha Davagni Nirvapanam. So we, as soon as we born in this material world, we are actually expressing we go through many miseries. Padam padam cha vipada. In Bhagavad Gita also said that the Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi Dukkha Doshanu Darshana. And Srila Prabhupada actually he spoke on this point in many lectures, where he says that the real problems of the lives are these 4, Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi, and we suffer all the time. And the only way to become happy is to find a solution, make solution to these problems. So this material existence, or our existence in this material world, is just like a Bhaumaha Davagni, it's a blazing fire, we all suffering. But if we actually take this instruction of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu of actually, chanting this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, then there is some hope that we can able to actually dose this fire, we can able to find and happiness. So this is very important instruction. I think what I actually uh, realized from the Shishtastakam, that this is actually very easy solution that is given here. And by chanting, Anandam Buddhi, Vardhanam Pratipadam, Purnamrita Swadanam. So, we also actually get lot of pleasure and happiness by chanting these holy names, But initially, I didn't experience that, Initially, I myself, because so contaminated, we don't experience that. But Srila Prabhupada always says that we have this jaundice, when we studied Nectar of Instruction, where he says that we are actually diseased, and even somebody give us a sugarcane juice, we're always gonna taste it bitter because we are contaminated, we are diseased. So unless we chant more and more and follow the instruction of our Guru Shishya Parampara, we not able to actually taste this nectar. So we have to actually keep chanting patiently. That is what I realized. And the next one is actually Nam Nam Akari. Nam Nam Akari Bahuda Nij Sarva Shaktis Tatra Arpita Nihamita Smarane Kalaha Etardashi Tava Kripa Bhagwan Mamapi Durdevam Idarsham Ihajani Nanuragaha. O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings. And thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies, and there are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by your holy name. But I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. So this is where I got my answer, that actually what is in the name, So Krishna has clearly stated that he has millions and millions of the names, there is no end to it, because he's absolute. There is actually, as Krishna is unconceivable, there are no end to his names as well. And he has actually invested all his energies into these names. And as we know that chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra is not that difficult, You only have to follow this regulative principle, and you chant anywhere. You can chant while you're walking. You can chant, sit down one place and chant. You always remember Krishna by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. You don't really have to go through the yogic process, do a lot of austerities, nothing like that. So this is definitely the easiest way to attain actually Krishna. And actually it came into my reading that actually where it says that actually why Krishna has so many names, millions and billions, why there is no end to names of the Krishna. And this is very interesting point I think I heard, where they say that actually in Chaitanya Charitamrita where it is mentioned that the Krishna has so many names because the actually living entities and devotees, they have so many different desires. So he take on all these different names to fulfill the actually devotees' desires. So that is something new point I learned, listening while preparing to this class as well. So yes, I think even actually the condition mentioned here is that the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say, he Krishna himself, that I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. Then what is my position? Actually, there is no identity. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. He is saying like that. So we can't imagine, what we can say. We chant, 16 round for 1 or 2 years or 10 years, and we feel proud. But here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who's actually combined incarnation of Srimati Radharani and Krishna, he's saying that actually he has no attraction. But we all know that actually how much love Lord Chaitanya has. We all know the pastimes when he actually went to Jagannath Puri. So actually, there is a lot to learn from this Shishtastakam, and actually, I found this answer in the second verse, and the last one is the Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. So one should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than a straw in a street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. So this is very famous verse, everybody knows about it when they come into Krishna consciousness. And this is the most, I think, difficult verse to implement as well. Even everybody knows actually to implement it practically is the hardest. Where it says that one should be more tolerant than the tree, or actually more humble than a grass of blade who lying in the street. Srila Prabhupada says that everybody tramples when they walk, but the grass does not protest. Same with the tree, we actually get everything from the tree, the fruits, leaves. Uh, in a scorching sun, we can actually benefit from its shade. We sit down, and whenever we want it, we still want to cut down the tree, but tree does not protest. So it symbolizes the actually tolerance. So one has to be very, very tolerant. Actually, if you want to actually get to the stage of chanting the holy name constantly without disturbance, because I myself complain that actually that I cannot focus when I chant. Mind goes here and there. There's so much disturbance. But the answer is given here. And Srila Prabhupada is also there. Actually, I heard in one of his lectures, he said that where is a question of a mind, He said that you chant with your tongue and you hear with your ear. Where is the mind? And in one sense, it's so true. So where is the mind, And this instruction is also coming from one of the actually, verses in actually Srimad Bhagavatam, I think. He mentioned that one has to actually learn this art of actually chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And we have to actually teach ourselves to focus on the sound vibration. And so Srila Prabhupada said that you just chant and hear, with the practice it will come. There's no question of mind. You can actually tame the mind. So yes, when you do this, and actually if you sit down at one place and do it, I think it's more effective than walking or doing something else and chanting. So I thought this is actually the most important instruction left by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to actually chant this holy name in this age of Kali. And we all actually we're all trying to do that. Means I am still struggling, but if you perfect this, I think this is this one thing actually will help us to elevate, to the transcendental plane where we can actually serve Krishna in a pure state. So that is what I realized, Amrish Prabhu, while meditating on this Lord Chaitanya's instructions. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Wonderful. Wonderful. Not for me, it's for everybody. I'm sure everybody gets benefited by this. Very nice. Both of you. We don't have to. We should, we do not know. We're not studied. So, you're studying any book of Prabhupada will teach you information about every book of Prabhupada. This is the honesty. When person is honest, is honestly teaching, whatever he says or she says will be complete. But when you have to find out ways, okay, he said it only that is different, then there is no honesty. So this is Prabhupada. There is enough, we should be warned, as Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj would say, of Srila Prabhupada's books. Very nice. Yes, all the best. So as others would prepare, I would encourage others to come forward, leaders, and speak. I'll just share a few seconds of more information. So Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. He himself was always misunderstood. So to such an extent that he even took sannyas for this reason. The people don't misunderstand him, thinking what he's saying is no meaning in that. So yeah, it's very important to understand this. That even God himself, in dealing with the material world, he has to be very cautious. So how much more cautious we have to? Please, who would like to join me? Please feel free. Hare.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. my internet is very unstable, so I may drop out, drop in, but yeah, I'll try to share my realization and what I prepared for today. So happy God Purnima Day to all of you. And thank you, Amrish Prabhu, Purnima Gandhi, Mataji, and Krishna Prabhu for holding the flag of Maharaj and giving us opportunity and platform. So when I was told by my wife that this is what we have to do today, I said, okay. Because when you're in association with devotees, you have different relations, but when you're in association with non-devotees, you have a different relations. So I've got more associations of non-devotees for whatever reason. But anyway, I'll give my best, what I realize and what I understand. So as Srila Prabhu said, which I heard, is that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instruction starts when Bhagavad Gita finishes. That's what I was reading yesterday, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given all the practical side of how to become a devotee in the mood of Radharani, Krishna himself. And I've read that Chaitanya Charitamrita here and there, bits and pieces. And it's a wonderful book. I wish I could read more and realize more. More importantly, I've read that book, Teaching from Lord Chaitanya, written by Srila Prabhupada, the nutshell of all those big Chaitanya Charitamrita. And in that book, Prabhupada very nicely describes those concepts, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission, his instructions to those great pure devotees. And Bhagavatam also starts with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's life story, where actually somebody who is going to study Bhagavatam, they have to get that introduction. That is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his instructions at many instances have been always quoting Bhagavatam and other scriptures and Bhagavad Gita. So I'll get straight into my realization. So the topic which I have always found very fascinating is from teachings of Lord Chaitanya, was devotional service in attachment. So I said, how can you be a devotee when you're attached? Or how a devotee is attached? And that's where the instruction has been given to Sanatana Goswami, which Prabhupada very nicely describes for people like me to understand and realize. And in that chapter, Prabhupada mentions a verse which Kapil Maharaj is actually instructing his mother about devotees and how Krishna is attached. So I'll start from that verse of Bhagavatam, and then I try to share my lessons and notes I've made from the purports, and hopefully I make sense. Na karhi chinmata parashanta rupe nangshanti no me animisho ledi heti Ishamaham priya atma sutascha sakha guru shihado devamistam. The translation is like this. The Lord continued, my dear mother, devotees who receive such transcendental opulences are never bereft of them, neither weapons nor the change of time. That's a very early stage of my life in Krishna consciousness. I heard this word status quo and changelessness. So neither weapons nor the change of time can destroy such opulences. In the previous verse, Lord Kapil is talking about what are the opulences of a devotee, how far we can. So it goes up to Satyalok and all those things. That's not what we are discussing here. So the Lord continued, my dear mother, devotees who receive such transcendental opulences are never bereft of them. Neither weapons nor the change of time can destroy such opulences. Because the devotees accept me as their friend, their relative, their son, the preceptors, benefactor, and supreme deity. They cannot be deprived of their possessions at any time. That is Lord Krishna, Lord Kapil giving instruction about a devotee's situation, and which is the same instruction is actually elaborately given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Sanatana Goswami in chapter 13 of that book, which I made some notes. I'll read it from there and I'll keep sharing my relations. And I found it very interesting. So Lord Chaitanya said to Sanatana Goswami, "Thus far I have explained devotional service according to regulative principles. Now I shall explain devotional service to you in terms of transcendental attachment," the verse I was referring to. Transcendental attachment. So what are those attachments? So Mahaprabhu says further, the inhabitants of Vrindavan, Vrajabhumi, are living examples of devotional service. There is ideal devotional service with attachment. And such devotion cannot be found anywhere except Vrindavan. Developing devotional service and attachment by following the footsteps of Brijavasi is called Rag Marg Bhakti. So I'll come to my relation also. So let me give some background. Because this concept can be very badly understood, can be easily misunderstood, which Prabhupada clarifies also further. So Rag Marg Bhakti, or devotional service in pursuance of attachment to the Lord. According to Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Canto 1, Chapter 2, verse number 270, the ecstatic attachment for the Lord experienced in the course of the devotional service that is natural for the devotee is called Rag, or transcendental attachment. So that's what we try to practice. The devotional service discharged with such deep detachment and with consequent deep absorption in the love of love is called Ragatmika. Examples of such devotional service can be seen in the activities of the residents of the Vrajabhumi. One who becomes attracted to Krishna by hearing of such attachment is certainly very fortunate. When one becomes deeply affected by devotion of a resident of Vrajabhumi and tries to follow in their footsteps, he does not care for the restrictions of regulations. That's where the misunderstanding starts. Their footsteps. He does not care for the restriction of regulations of the revealed scripture. This is characteristics of one discharging Raga Bhakti. So this is instruction given to Sanatana Goswami at a later stage, not in initial stages. This comes later in the book, which this kind of discussions start, which are very intimate and very nicely Prabhupada writes this, referring those scriptures and books for people like me so that we can understand it a little bit. So this concept is quite easily misunderstood, as I was talking about, that attachment to Vrindavan and doing all those Thakurji and all those things. It's not wrong, but it has to be done, which Prabhupada will clarify. Devotional service with attachment is natural, and one who has been attracted by it does not care for any argument against his conviction, even though such arguments may be presented according to the scriptural injunctions. The natural inclination to devotional service with attachment is also based on scriptural injunction. And thus, one who has attachment for such devotional service is not required to give it up simply on the strength of scriptural argument. In this connection, we should note that the class of so-called devotees known as Prakrita Sahajya follow their own concocted ideas and representing themselves as Krishna and Radha, indulging in debauchery. Such devotional service with attachment is false, and those who engage are actually gliding down a hellish path. This is not standard of Ragatmika Bhakti or devotional service with attachment. The Prakrit Sahajya community is actually cheated and very unfortunate. So this is very common, and when we go to Vrindavan and all those things, and it is very prevalent here also. And people, and that's why the attachment to those Vrajavasi has to be done while following those scriptural instructions, which Prabhupada and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very nicely will be clarifying, because that was a very prevalent problem at that time also, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was moving around and is meeting a lot of those Gyanis and impersonalists and who has a lot of Vedic knowledge. So further, Prabhupada writes, Devotional service with attachment can be executed in two ways, externally and internally. Externally, the devotee strictly follows the regulatory principles, beginning with chanting and hearing, while internally he thinks of the attachment which attracts him to serve the Supreme Lord. This is the heart of a devotee, which Prabhupada is writing here. That's what they do, and that's what I'm not able to do. Indeed, he always thinks of his special devotional service and attachment. Such a devotee's attachment does not violate the regulatory principles of devotional service, and he adheres to them strictly. Yet within his mind, he always thinks of his particular attachments. Now, the point is getting clear that what that attachment means, how to actually practice it, and how actually we move forward. That is instruction coming from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and which is explained by Prabhupada. Now, about this kind of devotees, they're very special, very pure. Such confidential devotees are divided into several categories. Some of them are servants, some are friends, some are parent, and some are conjugal lovers. We all understand this. In devotional service with attachment, one has to follow a particular type of devotee of Braj Bhumi. And then Prabhupada refers that verse from which I have started. Prabhupada now quoting this verse and giving the examples of those devotees and who can be those devotees and what happens when you are attached to your devotional service in this way. Hopefully I'm making sense, because it further Prabhupada keeps writing a lot of, it's a big chapter. And he further clarifies about what can go wrong and what we should do and what we should not do, and how do we actually don't get lost. So again, start with the translation of that verse, and then I'll read some part of the purport and share my realizations. And Lord Kapil, so there's so much similarity in Lord Chaitanya's instructions and Lord Kapil instructions, same instructions, different place, different time, different circumstances, and different audience. And the instruction is given to Sanatana Goswami. This instruction is coming to her mother in a very different situation. But same instruction is very applicable. The Lord continued, my dear mother, devotees who receive such transcendental opulences are never bereft of them. Neither weapons nor the change of time can destroy such opulences, because the devotee accept me as their friend, their relative, their son, preceptors, benefactor, and supreme deity. They cannot be deprived of their possessions anytime. That is a promise of Lord Kapil, if we can do it properly. And if we follow those mood and parampara and everything. Otherwise, it will concoction that I just discussed about. So, Lord Kapil is giving example about his mother, that in what mood you are, and then elaborating this, which I'll share. In the purport of this verse, Kapil Dev addresses his mother as Shanta Rupa, indicating that the opulence of devotees are fixed because devotees are eternally fixed in the Vaikuntha atmosphere, which is called Shanta Rupa, because it is in the mode of pure goodness, undisturbed by the modes of passion and ignorance. One is fixed in the devotional service of the Lord. His position of transcendental service cannot be destroyed, and the pleasure and service simply increases unlimitedly if we know how to do it. Otherwise, it's only a theory. For the devotees engaged in Krishna consciousness, in the Vaikuntha atmosphere, there is no influence of time. Yeah, time doesn't exist there. In the material world, the influence of time destroys everything. But in the Vaikuntha atmosphere, there is no influence of time or of the demigods, because there are no demigods in the Vaikuntha planets. Here, our activities are controlled by different demigods. Even if we move our hand and leg, the action is controlled by the demigods. We all know this, that yeah, all those senses and everything, how these demigods are actually managing. Again, that's a different science. And Prabhupada talks about this very elaborately. And even Bhagavatam talks about this. But in the Vaikuntha atmosphere, there is no influence of the demigods or of time. Therefore, there is no question of destruction. When the time element is present, there is a certainty of destruction. But where there is no time element, past, present, or future, then there is eternal. Therefore, this verse uses the words na nashyanti, indicating that the transcendental opulences will never be destroyed. And that what happens when we are attached to devotional service. If you're not attached and we don't develop that thing, yeah, so that's again remain a concept. So I'll quickly share my relation before I read. Yeah. So in our one of the classes, in fact, 2-3 classes, when I were discussing about this concept, and I said, we all have knowledge. I might have shared with some of you. So we don't read those books, we have knowledge, but as soon as the question of practicality comes, we come across all those problems. We can't do this, we can't chant more rounds. So knowledge is never a problem. Knowledge is never a problem. Applying that knowledge is a problem. That's why I remember Abhisho saying that even one iota of application of Bhagavatam is much bigger than having a lot of knowledge. So how do we apply this knowledge? That should be thought about more than how we'll understand all those big scriptures and become knowledgeable speakers. Now I'll come back to the point. The reason for freedom from destruction is auto describes. The devotees accept the Supreme Lord as the most dear personality and reciprocate with him in different relationships, as I discussed before, and as Lord Kapil also talking about this. There, they accept the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the dearmost friend, the dearmost relative, the dearmost son, the dearmost preceptors, the dearmost well-wisher, or the dearmost deity. The Lord is eternal. Therefore, any relationship in which we accept him is also eternal. It is clearly confirmed herein that the relationship cannot be destroyed if the relationship is pure and it is unalloyed. This is my relation. And therefore, the opulences of those relationships are never destroyed. Every living entity has the propensity to love someone. We can see that if someone has no object of love, he generally directs his love to a pet animal like a cat or dog. We have discussed this and Prabhupada writes about this. Yeah, we all have the tendency to love. We all want to be loved and we want to love or service. Thus, the eternal propensity for love is in all living entities, is always searching for a place to reside. This is our situation. That's why we are here. From this verse, we can learn that we can love the Supreme Personality of Godhead as our dearmost object, as friend, as a son, as a preceptor, or as a well-wisher, and there will be no cheating and no end to such love. We shall eternally enjoy the relationship with Supreme Lord in different aspects. And that is what I understand from devotional service in attachment. That's why we need a role model. That's why we need a Guru Shishya Parampara. I remember very early stage, we have been discussing this, that there is a path. Amrish will share this with me. We have a path on which the pure devotees have walked in. We have to just follow that path. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. The process is so simple. In the previous class, the parents I was saying, the process is very simple. No complication. We are the complication. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has shown us the path, the way how to do it, how to chant, like Sita Prabhu just shared. It's so simple. Anybody can chant, anybody can do it. But do we want to do it? So that's my relation on this day, Prabhu. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol, that's very nice. Very nice. Thank you very much for your wonderful realization. These are the things, So much nectar is there. I mean, in fact, we should have God Purnima festival realizations every day. And I'm waiting now that the intermediate level devotees, when they move to the leaders group, they will start to share. Not from Chaitanya Charitamrita, but from what they understand, what they study. This is practical implementation of all things. Very nice. Very, very nice. Wonderful. You see, the process is very simple. Mahaprabhu said, Amar Agnar Guru Hana Tara Edesh. Means your whole, wherever you are, it is your territory. Wherever you are, it's a territory. Amar Agnar Guru Hana. On my instruction, on my authority, you become the Guru. Wherever you are, family, village, city, country, planet, planets, universe, universes, if you're owner of universes, become Guru. Amar Agnar Guru Hana Tara Edesh. This is for Kali Yuga instruction. Of course, you have to be careful. Kali Yuga is here on earth. So, Jare Dako Tare Ko Krishna. That's what you do. Wherever you are, you chant. Wherever you are, distribute chanting. He never put any restrictions on anybody. You must be like this, only then you can chant. You must be Brahmana, then you can chant. No, chant. That's why he was called madman. You all are very correctly saying. Complete madman. You give benediction to anybody. Chant. Thousands upon thousands of people made them chant. Yeah, you initiated. Chant and preach chanting. Where? Why do you have to create restrictions? The moment you create restrictions in today's world, it's so obnoxious world today. It's becoming even more obnoxious. Wait till the time. The day has already come. With artificial intelligence has come, robotics is coming, all this is there. You're finished. People's mindset is finished. You cannot trust anybody. What to do? What to do? These words are just words for many of us today. But tomorrow when we experience this, the world has gone to absolute dogs. Whom to love, whom to expect, whom to accept, whom to follow. That's when we realize the importance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instruction. That for anything, there is no time, place, circumstances. You have nothing to do. You don't want to take a bath if you don't want to take a bath. Chant Holy Ghost. Of course, we should chant the chanting beach, very suchi, but no restrictions. Nothing. And there is no limit to what you can do. Do not create artificial restrictions for yourself. Mahaprabhu has never done this. Nityananda Prabhu has never done this. Especially people who are born in India. Bharat Bhumite Manusya Janma hoy laga. He did not say America Janma hoy, or New Zealand Janma hoy, or Australia Janma hoy, or Israel Janma hoy, or Palestine Janma hoy. Manusya, Bharat Bhumite Manusya Janma. Because on earth, why? Because in India, in Bharat Bhumi, it is very easy for people to understand the concept to say, I'm not this body, I'm a spirit soul. Soul is different to the body. For others, it is very difficult to digest. So these are the things. And now, if the same Indian people are going to lose this opportunity, then there is no meaning Bharat Bhumite Manusya Janma. But they will come. Right now they are following. Let one generation go by. Already things are changing. I can see that. People are frustrated by things, so many things. The food habits, the money which has come in had made people have changed their food habits and whatever things, lifestyle habits of smoking and alcohol and all will change. New Zealand had the highest teenage alcohol drinking problem. One of the worst in the world. Now the teenagers are not drinking alcohol. More and more are leaving alcohol. So by the time India catches up, the youngsters, they'll also be living it. But the thing is this, there are adults who are the parents of the children. They do not know this. So they are the culprits. Excuse me, not culprits, but they are the reason for this. Otherwise, what is the need? They are born in India. Instructions for everybody. So we have very high hopes with the next generation of devotees. Guru Maharaj would be so pleased. To all you leaders, all leaders, 2 hands Maharaj would be blessing all for training youngsters. And to the youngsters, Maharaj put 4 hands on your head. To make the most of it, finish it off. If you don't know what to do, chant Hare Krishna. There's no love for Krishna, chant Hare Krishna. There's love for Krishna, chant Hare Krishna. You don't know last moment, at the last moment, what do I do? Chant Hare Krishna. Simple. Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Krishna. Kalo nasti ho, nasti ho, nasti ho. Gate. Very nice. Very inspiring. Wonderful. Who would like to go next now? Please feel free. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much to Srila Prabhu, Sanjay Prabhu, and Avinash Prabhu for your very nice realizations. And happy Gaur Purnima Mahamotsab to everyone. I've just written some notes regarding my realization, so I'll be reading off my screen as well as giving my realization. So similar to what the devotees said, and as Avinash also said, that there's no difference between Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings and the teachings of in Bhagavad Gita. There is no difference. But the thing is that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings are the practical implementation and demonstration of the teachings of Lord Krishna. And so, as we know, that Lord Krishna's ultimate instruction in the Bhagavad Gita is that everyone should surrender unto him. And we know the verse of Bhagavad Gita chapter 9, verse 34, which is Man mama bhavamad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mam aveshyasi yuktaevam atmanam mat parayanaha. So engage your mind in always thinking of me. Become my devotee, offer obeisances unto me, and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. This is the overriding instruction in Bhagavad Gita. And however, the Mayavadi philosophers at the time of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, prior to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's birth and the preaching effort of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, there was a lot of misguidance, and even actually during Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's time as well, but I'll just get to that, Mayavadi philosophers were attracting the mass or directing the masses of people towards the impersonal truth rather than the actual personality of Godhead. And so because of that inferior or poor limited knowledge, then those Mayavadi philosophers could not understand the real personality of Godhead. It was all about the impersonal Brahman, and they could not go beyond that. But Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teach direct worship of Lord Krishna and direct relationship with Lord Krishna. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also suggested and also said that Vrindavan was as good as Lord Krishna because there's no difference between the name, the quality, the form, and the pastimes of Lord Krishna and Lord Krishna himself. So in terms of the absolute truth, that is what the absolute nature of the absolute truth means. So that's a very important instruction of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we all know that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu preached the Sankhya Yoga philosophy, and this form of yoga was meditating on the transcendental nature or the transcendental form and nature of the Lord. So when we think about like yoga in more of a mainstream pretense, there's a lot of it's all about your sitting position, this, that, and the other, very vague, and nothing at all to do with Sankhya Yoga at all. And there's no question, of course, of meditating on anything void or impersonal, which is what you see very much so that's been propagated in the mainstream. So, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teach that anyone can meditate on the form of Lord Krishna without doing any sitting postures or anything, nothing like that. And that is the perfection of your meditation. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu preached the Sankhya philosophy of Achintya Bheda Abheda Tattva, where the Supreme Lord is simultaneously one yet different from his creation, which was a very, very revolutionary and very very revolutionary philosophy at that time. Extremely revolutionary. And the concept and the truth that the holy name of the Lord is non-different to the Lord himself, that the chanting of the holy name and the sound vibration of the Lord is the incarnation of Lord Krishna as the absolute whole. So there's no difference between the Lord's transcendental form and his holy name. And so just by chanting the holy name of the Lord, we can associate with the Lord. The Lord is dancing on your lips, as Srila Prabhupada would say, while you sincerely chant the holy name of the Lord. So as I mentioned, that this whole yoga, this whole thing about breathing exercises and sitting postures and all that conception of yoga was, as Srila Prabhupada says, is done in an attempt to withdraw one's senses from sense objects. And it's generally meant for people who are too engrossed in the bodily concept of life. But Caitanya Mahaprabhu, and as has been propagated by Srila Prabhupada, we are taught that our senses have to be engaged in the service of the Lord. We have to engage our senses in the service of Krishna. No one can stop anyone from withdrawing their senses or from any sense objects, but we have to direct those senses. So Srila Prabhupada gives an example of a child, right? So no one can stop a child from playing and mucking around by making them inactive. Because of the nature of a child, they will find something to do always. So even a forceful restraint is not recommended for people who are intelligent. So being engaged in Krishna consciousness and directing our senses is the mark of a more spiritually advanced person. And that is what Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was trying to convert people into. And as Srila Prabhupada has said plenty of times, that we are raising the consciousness of people to a Brahman class. And that includes, these type of qualities in directing your senses and your engaging your mind in Krishna consciousness. And so the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was the perfect example of a preacher. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very well renowned as a scholarly person in his youth, and he would defeat many Mayavadi or philosophers and followers of Shankaracharya, the most notable being Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, who was a very well renowned and respected follower of Shankaracharya. And when they met, and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya presented his commentary on the Vedanta Sutra for about 7 days, I believe it was 7 days. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not say anything at that time, was just listening. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that, you've listened for 7 days. What do you think? Like, well, have you actually listened to what I was saying? What are your thoughts? And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that yes, but there are flaws in what you've presented. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then, without referring to that Shankaracharya philosophy, presented a completely different presentation of the Vedanta Sutra to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and one which was much more easier and more simpler and more logical to explain. And this completely changed Chaitanya changed the mood of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and thus he surrendered unto Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then from him, so many other people then realized, the power of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So what I had actually realized was that, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came with a very specific, Lord Krishna came down as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, also for a very specific purpose. And that was also to revolutionize this idea of, bhakti and what the actual philosophy is. At that time, as I mentioned, there was so much misunderstanding and misdirection in terms of the philosophy, but Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu completely revolutionized it. And as we know today, the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya was born from that. With Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Prabhupada, this mood of revolutionary preaching is carried on. The six Goswamis, of course. This, very, very apparent preaching has continued through. And that is what Srila Prabhupada is also equipping us with all these, books and teachings, which have come directly from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this whole mood of preaching of the Sankirtan Mahayagna as being the most important is carrying on today, and is as important, if not very, very important today, with so much complete divergence in the Vedic philosophy all over the world. And we can draw so much inspiration and so much understanding from surrendering unto Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as a beacon of inspiration, but also, the absolute truth. So that was my main realization, that, the purpose of, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as we know, came in the mood of, he wanted to know how it was to feel, the love of his devotees, but also to dispel any of the, Mayavadi or misguided philosophy that was very apparent at that time, and for future generations, for tens of thousands of years in the future as well. So that is my realization. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Krishna Sabha Krishna Prabhu, for your nice realization. Very nice. Your youngsters are the beacon of hope for the future generations. It's very important that you imbibe this Krishna consciousness in you and spread it wherever you go, all of you. Very nice. All the best. Also, now who would like to go next? Please feel free. Before I do that, there'll be a question for everybody at the end of the session program. You tell us the speaker and tell us which speaker, from that particular speaker, what did you got inspired in that speaker. So we'll start with those whose cameras are not on. I'm telling you in advance. That's up to you. Make notes, please. And if you speak from the last speaker or second last speaker, I like this. It's okay. We will ask you to do from the beginning, also, because everybody has taken their time to prepare themselves. And our mood is this, that it is our benefit that we prepare and we do realizations for the speaker's benefit. But the benefit of listeners also. The least the listeners can do, all of us, is to be attentive and make notes. So I've told you this. It's up to you. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Who would like to go next? Please.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you, Amrish Prabhuji, Pragya Mataji, and Krishna Samarpan, Krishna Prabhuji, for creating this platform for us. where although we are sitting in different countries, but we are celebrating Gaur Purnima together. So this is very nice, and it's very heartwarming to hear everyone's beautiful realizations here. Different concepts, different views, but the focus is Krishna, Lord Chaitanya. So this is very nice and good platform which we are sharing here. And thank you, devotees, for sharing your nice realizations. Shri Gauri Purnima ki Jai. So I would like to just start my realization from this verse here. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 7, 7.9.38. Itham nitriyag rishi dev jhashavatarer lokan vibhavayasi hansi jagat pratipan dharmam mahapurush pasi yuganuvrittam channah kalao yad bhavastri yugo ath sattvam. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In this way, my Lord, you appear in various incarnations as a human being, an animal, a great saint, a demigod, a fish, or a tortoise, thus maintaining the entire creation in different planetary systems and killing the demoniac principles. According to the age, O my Lord, you protect the principles of the religion. In the age of Kali, however, you do not assert yourself as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore you are known as Three Yuga, or the Lord who appears in three yugas. So, as we all know that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, but he has come as a devotee in this Kali Yuga just to distribute Krishna Prema to all of us. And we are very fortunate that after Krishna, in just 5,000 years, Krishna left his leelas here. I mean, just on the earth, finished his pastimes here, and then Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. So he came as a devotee, and he distributed the Krishna Prema. So, Lord descends in different forms every moment in the universes. His incarnations are compared to the waves of the ocean. As the waves come one after another, in the same way, the incarnations come. So they keep coming constantly, and with our tiny brains, we can't fathom these incarnations, these inconceivable potencies of the Lord. Sometimes he comes as tortoise, sometimes a half man, half lion, fish, or boar, or Sri Ramchandra. All the incarnations or the avatars he takes on earth just to reclaim the living entities who are suffering here. So, as the Lord says that in Bhagavad Gita 4.7, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirvavati bharata abhyuthanam adharmasya tadatmanam sajamyaham paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Whenever and wherever there is decline in religious practice and a predominant rise of religion. At that time, I descend myself to deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish the principles of religion. I myself appear millennium after millennium. So as he has promised to appear millennium after millennium, and we can see that dharma is practically just going down, but when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came as a devotee and he gave us Hari Nam, Krishna's name, which is because in the Kali Yuga it's very difficult to follow the rules of Satyuga or Treta Yuga or Dwapar Yuga. It's very difficult. So the easiest thing which Kali Yuga people can follow is the Hari Nam, and even that is difficult for us. We can't chant Krishna's name. We can't concentrate. So with all these defects, if we are following, we are chanting, we are taking Hari Nam, so that is the only way we can get liberated. So while he comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is the same Supreme Lord, and he comes in the mood and complexion of Radharani. Because Krishna is always thinking, why Radharani is so always so happy to serve me? What pleasure does she gets from serving me? So he was always very curious, because Krishna is, although he is the fountainhead of everything, but still he was trying to understand what is this that makes Radharani so blissful all the time, and that's one of the reasons he came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in her complexion and in her mood, and distributed this Krishna Prema to us. So we living entities as part and parcel of Krishna, we are in this world, but due to our minute free will, we try to become like Krishna, and we just make ourselves very miserable in this material world because of that minute desire to just enjoy this world. And Krishna created this world for us so that we can enjoy here. After coming to this material world, we realize our mistake when we suffer constantly in this material world, and we frantically look for something which can just liberate us. We can come out of all these miseries. Then with the mercy of the Lord, we come across in contact with devotees, and we start understanding what is the reason that we are suffering here, why we are suffering, and what is the way out of this material world. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15, verse number 7, Mame vansho jiv loke jiva bhuta sanatana manah shasthani indriyani prakriti sthani karshati. The living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the six senses, which includes the mind. And we know that how mind is making us just dance everywhere. And it's just what where we want to utilize the energy of this mind in Krishna's service, or we want to use this mind in our service. service of this material world in Maya. So if we are getting good association of the devotees, if we are just channelizing all our energy towards Krishna, then obviously we see the way, the light there, that yeah, we have got this way out of this world, out of these miseries. Otherwise, perpetually we have to be ready to suffer in this world. When Krishna appeared here, then he said that there were lots of orders Krishna gave, that you have to, he said, man mana bhaumad bhakta madhyaji mam namaskuru. So you have to be my devotee, you have to surrender unto me. But what Lord Chaitanya said, he said, just chant Hare Krishna, just Hare Nam kevalam kalo nastev gatiranyatha. So just simple thing he gave us, which anyone can do, and there is no requirement of anything you have to leave. Any person can do at any time, and so much facility he gave, that so that he's so merciful, because that's why he's called Mahavadanya, and so that we can just take this Maha Mantra and chant Krishna's name and just come out of the miseries. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's compassion is like ocean, and if we can just get a simple drop of that compassion, which he is giving us freely, but we are not ready to accept it. It's up to us what we want. Because we are followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we are if we are taking that preaching which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has done, and lots and lots of devotees benefited by that. They took the name of Krishna, they became Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's followers, and then if we can just do that, then obviously our human life is just the very successful. Otherwise, there's no way. So that's what Yuga Dharma, which is Hare Krishna Mahamantra, is. We have to chant it. When I heard the explanation of chanting Mahamantra, how we should chant it loudly, so that was very fascinating. That is my initial stages, because we have seen, I mean, in my childhood, I have seen people chanting on the beats, but very quietly. And then as a children, we were not supposed to disturb them at all. They would sit in a corner and chant without get disturbed. So when I heard that we have to chant loudly on the beats, so it was very fascinating. Why is that? And then I learned, okay, because we are engaging all of our senses in chanting, and that is the reason that we chant loudly. And because we are touching, so the sense of touch is there. We are speaking, so tongue is engaged, ears are engaged because we are hearing. And then we are seeing Krishna's deities and smelling the beautiful flowers there. So all of the senses, plus the most prominent sense, mind, is also engaged totally. So that is the meaning of man mana bhaumad bhakta. That's how we can be devotee of Krishna, engaging all the senses in his service. And then this Mana Shasthani Indriyani Prakriti Sthani Karshati, which we are struggling for the here for our existence, so that will be not there, because if we are engaged totally in the service of Krishna, service of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, getting his legacy forward, so then we are very successful in our human body. That is the success of the human body. That's why we are here on this material world, and that is the way to come out of this material world. So thank you. Hare Krishna, devotees. Shri Gaur Purnima Maha Mahotsav ki jai.
Jai, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Mother. You gave nice synopsis of the fall of the jiva, and what should be done to get out of it. So we have been discussing the jiva's fall in the material world, why we created. So all this links up nicely. And we'll discuss this. We'll continue with our part 3, conclusive part, Krishna willing, by Moshe Guru Maharaj, next weekend, next Sunday. But this is part of it. Very much so. Yeah, very nice. Very nice. Thank you very
Yes,
much.
Prabhuji, I was constantly thinking about those discussions which we are having for last 2 weeks. So this way, that way, different. I mean, it's engaging our mind a lot just to think about it, and it's very good that we are engaged in Sri Krishna's service that way.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for giving us the thoughts there. Thank you.
Yeah. It's Maharaj giving us, Maharaj in full control. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Okay, so who would like to go next now? Please feel free. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you, His Grace Amrish Prabhuji and Her Grace Purna Pragya Mataji and His Grace Krishna Samarpan Prabhu for this opportunity to share realization on this.
Your voice suddenly stopped, Mother. After thank you, we couldn't hear anything.
Hare Krishna, can you hear me, Prabhu?
Now we can hear. Thank you.
I guess it was muted again. Sorry. So wish you all, everyone, a happy Gaur Purnima. Shri Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. So I would like to sing the verse from the Shikshashtakam. As we were learning the Shikshashtakam in children's class. We were doing the Shikshashtakam last Saturday. The verse is Dinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahishnuna Omanena Omanadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. Krishna gives similar instructions in Bhagavad Gita chapter 2, verse 14. Matra sparshastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkada agama payuna nityas tamstitiksha svabharataha. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance in due course are like appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. They arise from sense perception of Bharat, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. Also in chapter 12, verse 18 and 19. समः शास्त्रौ च मित्रे च समः शत्रौ च मित्रे च तथा मानापमानयो शीतोष्ण सुखदुःखेषु समः सद्विवर्जितः तुल्यनिन्दास्तुतिर्मौनी सन्तुष्टो येन केनचित् अनिकेतः स्थिरमातेर्भक्तिमान मे प्रियो नरः. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. One who is equal to friends and enemies, who is equipoised in honor and dishonor, heat and cold, happiness and distress, fame and infamy, who is always free from contaminating association, always silent and satisfied with anything, who doesn't care for any residence, who is fixed in knowledge and who is engaged in devotional service. Such a person is very dear to me. So from all these verses, what I understood is, if I implement this instruction, I can chant holy name constantly without any disturbance. This is the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instructions to chant the holy name. I just wanted to share this one. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has always said that there is no hard and fast rule to chant the holy names, and it's not very hard to do it. It just need our determination and then surrender to Krishna, and then we can chant the holy name nicely. So I just wanted to share this small realization. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Mother, thank you very much for your efforts there, for realization. Hare Krishna. Okay, who would like to go next now?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much for your class, and thank you all the devotees for your very nice realizations. Jai Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki Jai. Lord Chaitanya is the only shelter for the most fallen, and he is the only hope for those who are completely devoid of spiritual knowledge. The supremely powerful Lord Krishna is manifest in 5 different potencies. He is the one without a second. In order to serve 5 specific spiritual purposes, he is manifest in 5 ways. Diversity, we can understand that the absolute truth, the supreme personality of Godhead, eternally exists with his diverse energies. Lord Chaitanya appeared with diverse energies, and they are 5 in number.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. What happened there? Hare Krishna, Mother. Can you please repeat again? Sorry. Something happened there. We missed you. We lost you on the screen.
Yes, Prabhuji, just disappeared. I think the Wi-Fi is not very good here, Prabhuji. Sorry about that. So there is no difference between the energy and the energetic in regard to the Lord's appearance, as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his 4 associates, Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Prabhu, Gadadhar, and Srivas. Among us, these 5 diverse manifestations of the Supreme Lord, as the Lord himself and his incarnation, expansion, and energies, there is no spiritual difference. And there are 5 in one absolute truth, for the sake of relishing transcendental flavor in the absolute truth. There are 5 diverse manifestations, and they are called the form of a devotee, the identity of a devotee, the incarnation of a devotee, and the pure devotee, and the devotional energy. But out of 5 diversities, in the absolute truth, the form of Lord Chaitanya is that of the original personality of Godhead. And I would like to share from the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, how to approach the goal. And this was also from the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, the original personality of Godhead. Actually, all Vedic literature direct the human being toward the perfect stage of devotion. The path of fruitive activities, speculative knowledge, and meditation do not lead one to the perfectional stage, but the Lord actually becomes approachable by the process of devotional service. And therefore, one is recommended throughout the Vedic literature to accept the process of devotional service. Lord Chaitanya quoted in this connection a verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 11 Canto, 14 chapter, in which the Lord says, "My dear Uddhava, never speculation, nor yoga achievements, nor penances can give by the living entities. It can only be achieved by devotional service, and he is dear only to the devotees. If a person born in the lowest family of the humanity is a devotee, then he becomes freed from all contamination. And devotional service is the only path by which to achieve the Supreme Personality of Godhead." So this is how beautifully we learn that Srila Prabhupada taught the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And this is not, as Mataji said, this is not a hard and fast which Lord Chaitanya tried to spread all over the world. And so this is such a beautiful name of the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, that we can take the name of anywhere. We don't have to be in a temple. We don't have to be somewhere where we feel like we can just do this Mahamantra. We can do the chanting. We can just perform our devotional service anywhere, anytime, whenever we feel. It's always within us, and it's always very easy. But we just have to have the that enthusiasm, and that we just have to have that the zeal of doing the Mahamantra, so that we can keep purifying ourselves. So Lord Chaitanya, how Lord Chaitanya has started this movement, and this is just changing the lives of us since the time immemorial. So Jai Shri Prabhupada ki Jai, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki Jai, and Gaur Purnima ki Jai. That's my realization. Hare Krishna.
Okay, Mother, thank you very much. Hare Krishna. It's a good attempt. All the best to you. Hare Krishna. Yes, who would like to go next now?
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much for your nice realizations. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki Jai, Shri Gaur Purnima ki Jai. So I would like to start my realization by sharing my first point of information when we came to New Zealand, and we were listening in a class, and at that time we're talking about Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And when I heard for the first time, I did not know before about Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at all. When I was back in India, I knew about Krishna, but I didn't know. So this thought came to my mind, that why is this? And then the devotees was saying that it's a hidden incarnation, Chana avatar. And this thought came to my mind very, very deeply. Why is Krishna doing this? Why is this incarnation a hidden incarnation? I had the urge to know very, very much. And I also then felt that because I was hearing, and by that time we were listening to the beautiful songs, the Vaishnava songs, Gauranga Boli De Habe, Pulaka Sharira, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Doya Karo More. So, and the translation of the songs, and I felt this is so sweet and nectarian. And why is then Krishna hiding this incarnation avatar? So that was my so to say, the first kind of inquiry or the inquisitiveness or the urge in my mind, it was very, 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 very deep and high. And then I thought that, then I, of course, after reading, as mentioned by other devotees as well, why Krishna has come, Sri Krishna as Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Kali Yuga. Everything that is every incarnation of Lord Krishna. So we have to go by Sadhu Shastra, and so there's always Praman required. So Sadhu and Shastra, and that what that means is that the scriptures mention of the incarnation, the appearance of the Lord, and then it is also authenticated by sadhus like Rupa Goswami, who confirm that Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. So I feel that this is very, very important. Personally, for me, it was very, very important to establish that fact in my mind, because if I get asked this question, because I felt like as I don't know, there are so many other people who will not know. And if I'm going to try to speak to someone about Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I have to be confident and I should have the knowledge too if I get asked this question. Because many people in India would say, oh, he is not an incarnation of Krishna, he's just a devotee. So I felt that I should be informed. And so did a lot of reading also on that. And I wanted to convince myself, that I can then be able to answer the questions. So I think that Srila Prabhupada always mentions that you can confirm by sadhu and shastra. So I'm just going to, I've made some notes. I'm just going to read some notes. I'm not sure if my video will be on. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the incarnation for this age of Kali, as confirmed in many places throughout the Puranas, the Mahabharata, Srimad Bhagavatam, and the Upanishads. The summary of his appearance is given in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 6, verse 99, as follows. Kali yuge lilavatara na kare bhagavan, ataiva tri yuga kari kahi tara nama. In this age of Kali, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavan, does not appear as a Lilavatar, an incarnation to display pastimes. Therefore, he is known as Tri Yuga, unlike other incarnations. Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears in this age of Kali as a devotee of the Lord. Therefore, he is called a concealed incarnation, Shana Avatar. The Lord has appeared as Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to bestow upon the fallen souls the easiest method of self-realization. So herein I got my answer in why Krishna appeared. And Srila Prabhupada says that when Krishna appeared, and Krishna said, first of all, you surrender unto me. Sarva dharman parityaja mam ekam sharanam vraja. Aham tvam sarva papeva mokshayasmi masuchaha. So Bhagavad Gita chapter 18 verse 66. And that is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. But Srila Prabhupada said that there are so many rascals that they did not accept the authority of Krishna, and they said, who are you to tell us to surrender? So that is the nature of the material world. Nobody wants to surrender. And so Krishna appears then as Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is, and there is no condition. That's what Srila Prabhupada says. We can see it in the Vaishnava songs as well. And this is my favorite song of all times. And the first two verses, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, Doya Koro More, Toma Bina Ke Doyalu Jagata Samsare, Patita Pavana Hetu Tava Avatara, Mosama Patita Prabhu Na Paibe Ara. Translation. My dear Lord Chaitanya, please be merciful to me, because who can be more merciful than your Lordship within these 3 words? Your incarnation is just to reclaim the conditioned fallen souls, but I assure you that you will not find a greater fallen soul than me. Therefore, my claim is first. When I read this for the first time, I thought this is so beautifully manifested, as every time when you want to show your qualification, you would glorify your own self and you would say, oh, I'm so much better, and so that's why I have my eligibility to be to have the mercy. But here it's completely different here, and this has stayed with me, and I loved and loved and loved this translation and this song. And I always felt like I have to come to this mood and understanding that I'm the greatest fallen soul, and that is why my claim is first. So that puts you in Trinadapi Sunichena, Tarorapi Sahishana, because that is the essence of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instructions. And no matter how many times I listen to this song and read this, it's the nectar is just never ending. So just going further on this. As we are going on this thread of the realizations for the past 2 weeks on why, as living entities, we are here, why are we in this material world, why did we detach ourselves from Krishna. Krishna has given us the independence. Srila Prabhupada says that we are rascals and we have misused that independence. That's as simple as that. And that is why we've fallen into this material world. And when we were going through these conversations for the past 2 weeks, I was constantly thinking about this thought that even if we have chosen, Krishna has given us the independence, we have chosen. And Srila Prabhupada explains, it's like the prison house. We are in the prison house. So there are always people who will misuse the independence, and so they are in the prison. And the material world has created that, a prison for certain people. And we are also in the same situation. We have fallen and we are in the material world, which is a prison. And because our existence is only and only to serve Lord Krishna. However, we wanted to lord it ourselves, so we have fallen. So Srila Prabhupada says in this context that because we have separated from, like it's a finger, your finger is cut from the body, it has no use. This is our position. And then I was thinking that, yes, we have chosen to be independent from Krishna. And then what has Krishna done? Krishna has been with each and every one of us as a super soul. He's sitting in our heart. And he's witnessing everything that we are doing. And he's always there with us. So he, as a supreme personality of Godhead, could choose not to do that. But he has not chosen to do that. And still, in spite of that, I feel we have, me personally, no realization how much Krishna is actually wanting us not to be here. And then when Krishna has recited all the, in the Bhagavad Gita, the recitation, and then the end, the gist of the Bhagavad Gita, the final instruction, Sarva Dharman Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Vraja, then we are not even ready to surrender ourselves. So then Krishna appears as Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, no conditions, just giving the mercy to the fallen souls. And I'm thinking how much effort Krishna is doing, taking incarnations only and only for fallen souls like me. And what am I doing? I always question, after when I I always question this, that what am I even doing? Am I reciprocating in any way whatsoever, in any percentage whatsoever? Because ultimately, if our purpose is to love Krishna and to serve Krishna, then it has to be reciprocation. And then how do you do that? That is only and only through the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Eva Kevalam. Kalo Nasti, 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 3 times. Gati Anyatha. There is no other way, no other way, and no other way. And this, I think, is very, very important. Also because we can see we have our attachments, we have our material attachments, and then because we are taking our attachments with us, sometimes in the spiritual devotional service also we have attachments, and it's good to have, but we have to be very careful. We have to draw the line. And sometimes it's like, I like to do this, I like to do that, this. No. Sometimes Srila Prabhupada has mentioned in his lectures also, preaching is very, very important. And the second thing is you have to chant. So when we have to prioritize our devotional service, this is me telling myself, if I have a difficult time where I have no time to do any devotional service, then my chanting is my priority. That is the first thing, and it should not be compromised. Everything else can be compromised. And I will tell you a very small thing. There was a devotee who said to a very nice senior devotee, who said to Srila Gurudev, His Holiness Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj once, that I'm very busy and I won't be able to chant my rounds, something like that. And can you imagine what Srila Gurudev said? Srila Gurudev said, okay, son or daughter, how many rounds you cannot chant? Please let me know. I will chant for you. And then obviously that instruction was given to all of us, because it's very nice of the devotee to share that. And that is the importance of the chanting of the holy names of the Lord every single day. It is so simple, and yet it is so difficult. I feel like it is so simple, but I feel like we make it difficult for ourselves. So as much as we can feel that I can feel that I'm very unfortunate to come in this Kali Yuga, there is this beautiful silver lining, where only by chanting the names of Lord Sri Krishna you can attain your ultimate goal of this life. Srila Prabhupada also says, that when Krishna appears, or when a king appears, he appears with his paraphernalia. He will not appear alone. He will have his assistant, he will have his servants, everything. So similarly, when Krishna appears with his paraphernalia. And similarly, when Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, he appeared with his paraphernalia. And this I'm saying is because of the importance of chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and then the importance of chanting Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's, like the Pancha Tattva mantra. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All of these names, each and every name is also as much important. And I always think, commit so many offenses while chanting the holy names of the Lord. And then at the end of it, we say Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So it can negate the effects of the offenses. So I feel like when I look at the whole thing, I feel like there is so much mercy and there is so much facility given, even in this material world, for us. And so much Krishna wants us to come. And I just hope that I also have that urge, and so strong an urge, that I want to go back to Krishna. I want to go back to Godhead, or I want to be in that state of consciousness, whether I go back to Godhead, whether I go back to the lower planetary systems, or whether I'm in the Kali Yuga, I'm anywhere in the middle planetary systems, no matter what, I just pray, and I just pray that I can always and always be into contact with Srila Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada, and this wonderful, wonderful Krishna conscious movement. Because it's ultimately about Krishna consciousness. And if you have your consciousness, even here you can have that consciousness of being in the spiritual plane. That is achievable. That has been achieved by all the pure devotees of the Lord. And that should be the aim. And I think personally for me, instead of thinking whether, whether I'm going to go back to Godhead, whether I'm eligible to go back to Godhead, just have the consciousness which you can have constantly to be in that platform of pure devotional service and love for Lord Krishna. So this is what Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had to come down to show us how to behave like a devotee. Arjuna has asked the questions in Bhagavad Gita to Lord Krishna. How does a devotee behave? How does he walk? How does he talk? Here Krishna had to demonstrate himself. There is no need. And I feel, I was thinking that when I thought about this point, I thought, I'm an accountant, and so I should know everything, right? Imagine if after becoming an accountant, somebody is coming and telling me how to be an accountant. That I would feel is so offensive. So here, my original position is to be a devotee of the Lord. And I don't know how to, and I have to be taught and have to be demonstrated by the Lord himself. That is such a poor condition of myself. So I want to improve from that and go to that position and learn, and just not mere words, as other devotees have said. Srila Gurudev, His Holiness Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj, always says that as far as you read the Shastras, and if you implement them, then that is the sarthak. Otherwise, it's only just reading and nothing goes in the head, and I read it, I say it, and it's forgotten. So I just hope that I will be able to implement that in this life and preach, Lord Chaitanya's glory in every town and village. Just last, our Guru Shishya Parampara have established the places where Lord Chaitanya was born. They have gone through so much pain because Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur had to establish where Mayapur was. It was lost, and they've established that where the places is where you can go, where Lord Chaitanya was born under the Nimai tree, the neem tree, and that's why he was named as Nimai. You can go to the places where Lord Chaitanya embraced Chandkazi, and there's two trees entwined. And when you see that, it increases your faith. So I would always recommend, it's that it helps you in your devotional service when you visit the Holy Dham. And they have taken so much efforts to establish the places. So it's a very fortunate thing to be in this Guru Shishya Parampara, where everything is so pure. And when you have the backing of the Guru Shishya Parampara, then your devotional service is not alone. It's not performed alone. So if I go back, I cannot go back, whether I'm eligible. All this is backed by all the parampara, only and only if you're sincere. How much purity is there in this parampara is just amazing. And it just makes me feel that this is what I don't want to lose more than anything else. This purity that Srila Prabhupada has got into our lives. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for a wonderful realization. Thank you very much for wonderful realizations. Hare Krishna. Very inspiring. I'm sure many devotees will be inspired by this too. Okay, so anybody left now in the leader Sangha? Okay. Or any leader would like to say again? We'll wait for 10 more seconds. Okay, Hare Krishna. So as we conclude, thank you very much to all the leaders of the Sangha, Devotees Leader Sangha, for your wonderful realization, taking out time, and with my obnoxious request that you should be speaking from from what you learned, and all of you doing your realizations like this is very inspiring to me. I'm sure it's inspiring to all the level of devotees who joined us from the intermediate beginners as well. So I'll keep the forum open for devotees to share what they picked up, what they liked from one point. I can see many of you are online. Very good. Otherwise, you are not. You're switched off very nicely. So one devotee and 1 point, if you can share that, please. And not just the last person. I would appreciate if it is from everywhere. So yes, I'll tell you what I sort of with me. So with the points that I think many devotees raised this point with regards to it is a common point, also a common thread too. Thing make it simple, devotion. Right? So this point you cannot raise, you cannot share. You can't say. Otherwise, you can share amongst yourself. That's fine, but this point you cannot share. To which Sita Prabhu said, so also Sanjay Prabhu said in his point. Avinash Prabhu, Saraswati Mataji, Purnavagya, even Krishna Prabhu said the same point, Dolly Mataji as well as Nordamati, all of them said this point. That is very, very simple. And there is no prerequisites. Nobody can say you have to be this only and then you can chant the law of God. The difference is people fear God, other religions. I'm not demeaning them, not belittling anyone. But generally it is been preached to say you must fear God. God is supreme, fear Him. Krishna consciousness is the only place where we've been taught how to love God. This is a big difference. Okay. So this is my inspiration, what I got inspired from all the wonderful devotees. Thank you very much, Hare Krishna. So I'll leave the forum open to everyone, especially for those who are in the intermediate beginners level. If you can please name the devotee and make a point what you appreciated from them. Thank you very much. Don't repeat this point after this. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Yes, don't do
Hare
this.
Krishna.
You can start. Thank you very much, Anthony. Please start.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I was just last night I was discussing with my parents about why Krishna has so many names. Uh, my mother asked me, but I didn't had any answer to that question. And today itself, I got answer from Sheetal Prabhuji that Krishna has so many names because we have so many desires, and to kill those desires, he has so many names. So this was one point that I got, and there were obviously many points. Also, it takes time to let poison in our consciousness go, and that will only go with Krishna's name, the Mahamantra, while chanting the Mahamantra. This were 2 points that
Very nice.
really.
Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Very nice. All the best to you. Hare Krishna. Yes, please. So let us go next now.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, my point, it was, I think, Krishna Samarpan, Krishnadas Prabhuji said, and it was also a kind of a repeated point. I have 2 or 3 points that I will share. So one point was that the holy name of Krishna is the same as his form. There is no difference between the form and his name. And that is why chanting is so important. Because people say, हमें तो भगवान नहीं दिखते, तुम हारे है भगवान दिखा के बताओ. But when you say this line that whether you see him or whether you speak his name, it is the same thing only. And this is such a simple thing, but it is something that a person cannot really even understand or even begin to comprehend, that how is it possible that the name of a person can be same as the person himself. So if you actually meditate on that point, you realize that how important chanting really is. And second point, I think Purna Pragya Devidasi, she said it. She said it towards the very end, but it was so. She gave an analogy that she's an accountant, and if someone comes to her, if she asks someone that how to be an accountant, that is so offensive. And I was so shocked by that point. I was like, oh my God, I have finished my training as a doctor. If I go to my professors and I'm like, how do I be a doctor? I don't know how to be a doctor. I just can't be a doctor now. So this is something that one cannot even comprehend. But that is what we are doing. That is what we are doing. We are the devotees of Krishna. We are the servant of Krishna, but we refuse to accept it. We don't know how to go about what we're doing. We have to read books and we have to chant and we have to do everything again just to realize our position that we are already holding. So that is what I learned from the class, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Matajis and Prabhujis, for your realization. It was really nice. Hare Krishna.
Jai, jai. So it says that we are trained. We must be training ourselves. Actually, we are training ourselves to see Krishna through our ears, not with our eyes. It is said that. No? So very nice. All the best to you. Hare Krishna. It was nice. Now the education is nearly finished. We can see you more often. Wonderful. All the best. Yes.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you all the senior devotees for giving this wonderful realizations. And thank you Prabhuji for having this platform where I can share realizations. Just I had multiple points, but I'll just share one point. This point comes from a very practical point in it. Sheetal Prabhu shared this point about how, why he was chanting. He shared a realization that nonsense things were coming to his mind, his past anarthas were coming to his mind. And well, that happens to me a lot as well. And then Sheetal Prabhu shared that he asked Ambrish Prabhu about this. And then Ambrish Prabhu said this very wonderful point that even Maharaj says, Hari Kripa tab janiye jab dikhe apna dosh. So, yes, that's a good point that, this dirt, and I've read it in Prabhupada books also, that if there is a dirty pond and if you throw a stone in it, all the impurities will start rising to the top. Right. And then you can slowly clean it away. But there will be a time where the impurities will rise to the top and you will. And I think that's the same reason why when we start chanting, we feel sleepy, because it's all the mode of ignorance coming out. I don't know. I'm not sure, but I'm just sharing that. It might be the case. So this point, and then just followed up with what Sheetal Prabhu said after this was that, it takes time. It takes time for purity to happen, for Krishna Bhakti to happen. So we must be patient. We cannot rush it. It's not in our control. It's Krishna who's giving us love and we are the beggars. So beggars can't be choosers. So yes, Prabhu, that's it. Hare Krishna.
And we have chosen to become beggars. Okay, all the best. Wonderful. Hare Krishna. Yes, who let me go next?
Hare Krishna, Guru. Hare Krishna. Thank you for allowing me to share something. Thank you to all the devotees who shared such nice points. There are many points that I wanted to share, and one point that Saraswati Mataji mentioned, where she mentioned 15.7, that where Krishna says we are very struggling with the six senses, and which includes the mind. And Mataji said that the mind makes us dance. So it is very like I could relate, because all the points that devotees share that came to a point that Prabhu recently shared, that when we do chanting and sometimes our anarthas comes up and we get some negative thoughts. But I also remembered that point where Prabhupada says about that pond example Mahaprabhu just gave. And another point that Avinash Prabhu said, which he shared with us before also, that knowledge is not our problem, but implementing that knowledge is our problem. So these are the 2 points that I wanted to share. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Implementation of the knowledge gives you what? Makes you what? Wise. That is wisdom. Okay, very nice. All the best to you. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji, for giving me this chance to share my realization. And thank you to devotees who share wonderful realizations. There were so many points which I have noted for each and every devotee. I would like to share some of them. There was one of the point which Saraswati Mataji said. Krishna says that there was one verse, Bhagavad Gita chapter 9 verse 34, engage your mind always in thinking of me, become my devotee, offer obeisances to me, worship me, being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. So this is what Krishna says, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says just chant and you will come to me. So this is what I like the most. And the second part which Purnapaja Mataji said, there she gave an example that we think that we are independent, but we have given a choice from a free will. We have came to this material world, and because we think that we are independent, if the finger is cut down from our body, we think that the Srila Prabhupada gave this example, and then we think, but super soul is always there to guide us. That means our parents, we leave our parents and we think that we doesn't belong to our parents, but parents are always there to take care of us. So this really, and they reciprocate. That is how Krishna reciprocate within ourselves in the form of Paramatma. Yeah, so these 2 points I really like the most. Thank you.
Very nice. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. All of you should make notes like this. I've woken you up. You must do it on your own. Very good. Very nice. You see, everybody has made notes, for the classes. So wonderful. All the best to you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you to all the devotees for their wonderful realization today. Thank you, Prabhuji, for giving me the chance to share one point. So there was a lot of point mentioned by all the devotees, and they were very nice. But apart from that, what I also picked up, mentioned by Puna Pragya Mataji, was that we know that chanting is the way, and it is a very easy process, but howsoever it is easy, but it takes a lot of time, and this easy process even becomes very harder, for at least for me, to do. And even though this easy process is the recommendation for this yoga, but वो बोलते हैं ना that this simple process becomes so harder for us. So that was the one point which was very intriguing, that it's so simple, but that so simple becomes difficult, and that's the problem of implementation. That's the problem where I personally struggle. So yeah. Thank you, Pooja.
Thank you very much, Hare Krishna. So who said this point? Sorry, I missed it. I got really disfocused. You refer to any devotee who said this point?
Yes, Pooja. Purna Pragna Mataji mentioned this point, and the implementation point was mentioned by Avinash Krishna Prabhuji.
Okay. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Is that it? We are done? Mahaprabhu would be busy, I think. He will not be able to speak. We are away farming. What about Dimanshi Mataji? Hare Krishna? I don't know if she is in the class or she can speak.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Am I audible?
What happened to your voice?
I'm a bit unwell, and
Okay.
yes, actually, I have not gotten the chance to prepare a realization because we had exams starting tomorrow. So
Okay. That's fine.
yeah.
You heard everything?
Yes, some realizations I heard. I joined a little bit late.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No problem. All the best. Hare Krishna. Okay. Anyone else like to share anything before we finish this class? Thank you very much. Yes, what about children? I hope they are not sleeping or playing somewhere. And they also have to do the same thing. They have to know who the person is. Parents are going to run now fast. Telling them, no, say this name, say his name, this is how it is. But kids have to speak as well. May not be mother, but still mother can be. Why? Who are going to decide? So it's in person.
Hare Krishna, Babuji. Only Madhav was in the class. Subhi is sick, so she was in her room.
Oh, so mother is going to say?
Want to say something, Madhav? Say Hare Krishna. Say Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, bolo.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Madhav, tell me, what did you understand? Do you understand anything?
Say louder.
No?
No.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Slowly you'll learn like this, huh? Very nice. But keep listening like this, huh? All the best to you. Hare Krishna. Very nice. Good boy. Yes, who's left? Navina is left. Navina? Where are you, Navina Mataji?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Hare Krishna Mataji. Tell me, what did you learn? From whom? Do you make notes?
No.
You're very clever. You have mental notes. You don't need to write. Only fools like me have to write notes. You're very dumb. Just tell me, what did you understand? Did you understand anything? Did you like any points from anybody?
I wasn't listening, Prabhuji. I was upstairs in my room and I was a bit downstairs, but I wasn't listening.
Oh. Okay, thank you for being very honest. You know? Very good. You get full marks for being honest, for your honesty. We like somebody when they are very honest. You know? Good. So did your parents not tell you to come and sit and listen to the class?
They asked me, but I got carried away because my friend's going to camp and I wanted to play with her before she went.
It's a very good, very, very valid reason. Your friend is going for the camp tomorrow? She's going to camp tomorrow?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Oh, and you want to make sure that you talk to her before she goes to the camp. Right. That's all right. I think it's a very, very, very valid reason. No? Very good. Thank you for your honesty. Honesty is the best policy. No? Well done. Well done. Maybe slowly and steadily you will learn that. You know, you'll come, you'll listen, you'll make some notes or mental notes, say something. No? But not to don't pressurize yourself. But come and sit. You know? I should pressurize my son, but I'm okay to all of you. He'll say, what is this, Dad? You used to make me sit down, of course, sit down here and make me sit down, this and everything. But to everybody else, you're very soft. So yeah, that's right. That's the price you pay for being my son. Okay. All the best to you, huh? All the best. Hare Krishna. Okay, now, so whose turn is it to sing Maharaj? Maharaj, please hear us. But before that, so Krishna willing, by the mercy of Guru Maharaj, tomorrow is God Purnima. And after we finalized our program here for 2 days, we wanted to do another program with another program, which we are not doing, which we are set up here. And whoever can come, can come. I understand, it's understandable. It's a working day. And also, say 6 o'clock here, which is what, 10:30 over there in India. And it is just starting work time. Same in Australia as well, but he said you can come. That's it. Come, that is good. So whoever can come, they're most welcome to join us. And I'll be speaking, straight on Gaur Kathanya. I'll be speaking upon Lord Chaitanya, the person reasons, Radharani's, the points. I made some notes here. So, yeah. So I'll try and speak on like Radharani always thinks about Krishna. This one point. And those who dedicate their lives to Sankirtan, what happens to them in Sankirtan movement? And it's a little technical, but why did Lord Chaitanya accept sannyas from a Mayavad, Keshav Bhatt, and did not take the name? So there's two technical things. If we are only leaders, then I can go a bit deeper on the subject. But anyway, it is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance. Topics are a bit technical. And if Krishna, and then the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the description of it, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of his appearance. It's a very beautiful words. So we'll try and discuss on these points. And if time permitting, then add some more. Okay. And Krishna willing, by mercy of Guru Maharaj, next Sunday we'll continue with the part 3 of our Why is the Jiva born? Okay. And all of you need to make notes, have a discussion, so that what will happen is this: we'll have a 3-hour session. 1 hour is too less. Or maybe you may not need 3 hours. I do not know, but depends upon your participation. Huh? So I will keep that full time. You know. So the intermediate level we finished the mantra 12, right? No?
Yes,
Yeah?
bro. Yeah, yes. The next mantra will be
13,
yeah.
huh?
Yeah,
Right.
13.
So I'm just debating whether 2 hours are enough or 3 hours. Because I don't want to do something whereby again there is a delay. You know? We were to go one more time. I think we'll keep 3 hours. We finish early. But please, my request to you, all of you, would be that prepare the points so that we can very quickly, 3 hours is enough time. So we can make down our notes and we can be very quickly coming into the mood, and of what the 2 sessions have been. And I would request that those who have not attended the session, we would, they should listen to the YouTube video. It is very, very inspiring. And it's sort of a debate, which we had. It's a debate come discussion, come a lot of things. This is how I worked out that. So the point of the discussion is that why are we born? We are part and parcel of Krishna. What does it mean of being part and parcel of Krishna? So hopefully we have woken up, all of us, including me, sleeping souls, and we have to see it from every angle, which we are doing. Some angles are still missing, but I'm hoping that by Guru Devotees' mercy, the next Sunday we will be completed. Okay. Anyone wants to say anything? Any suggestions on this? What we discuss for next Sunday? Okay, that's fine then. So it's happening. We have organized for these 2 weeks. So tomorrow and then on Sunday. So we'll see you. We can see you tomorrow. Otherwise, we'll see you Krishna willing next Sunday. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Now, who started to saying Maharaj, Maharaj, please hear us?
It's my turn, Prabhuji.
It's your turn, Prabhuji. माधव जी कैसे हैं आप? ठीक है?
मैं ठीक है प्रभुजी.
मैं ठीक हूँ प्रभु जी. ठीक है नहीं? बोले वापस बोलो. मैं ठीक हूँ प्रभु जी.
मैं ठीक हूँ प्रभुजी.
हाँ, जाने से आप कैसे हो प्रभु जी?
आप कैसे हो प्रभुजी?
अब मैं भी बड़ा ठीक हूँ. थैंक यू वेरी मच. बहुत धन्यवाद आपका. अब ये बात जो है, ये अपना हरियाणवी में बोली है. You know what is Haryanvi? Haryanvi, you know what is Haryanvi? It's your father's language. मालूम है आपको? हरियाणवी बोलते हैं पिताजी आपके साथ? नहीं बोलते हैं. तो ठीक है, पंजाबी में बोल दीजिए आप. मदर का लैंग्वेज बोलिए पंजाबी. वो बोल दीजिए यही बात. मैं ठीक हूँ बोले पंजाबी में. हाँ जी. नहीं, यू डोंट नो. पर कोई बात नहीं, हिंदी बोलिए. ठीक है, कुछ बोला सब भूल जाएंगे आप. ओके. ओहो, सुभद्रा जी इज हियर. कैसे हैं आप? ठीक है सुभद्रा जी?
मैं ठीक हूँ प्रभु जी.
वेरी नाइस. बड़ा अच्छा. टेक केयर ऑफ योरसेल्फ. हाँ, वेरी नाइस. ऑल द बेस्ट टू यू. चले माधव जी, अब आप बड़ा अच्छी तरह सिंग कीजिएगा और एक्शन के साथ सिंग कीजिएगा. हम आपके साथ ज्वाइन करेंगे. ठीक है ना? 1 1 2 3 शुरू कीजिए.
Maharaj, Maharaj, please hear us.
Maharaj, Maharaj, please hear us.
We have learned some real good stuff.
We have learned some real good stuff.
Maharaj, we have learned one thing.
Maharaj, we have learned one thing.
And today for you we will sing.
And today for you we will sing.
If our room is clean,
If our room is clean,
then our mind is clean.
then our mind is clean.
If our mind is clean,
If our mind is clean,
we can do anything.
we can do anything.
If our room is dirty,
If our room is dirty,
then so are we.
then so are we.
And if we are dirty,
And if we are dirty,
we're not happy.
we're not happy.
Wasting time
Wasting time
is the greatest crime.
is the greatest crime.
Because wasted time
Because wasted time
means a wasted mind.
it's a wasted mind.
So best is your time
So best use your time
when you're in your prime.
when you are in your prime.
And your whole life
And your whole life
will be sublime.
will be sublime.
If your wealth is gone,
If your wealth is gone,
then there's nothing wrong.
then there is nothing wrong.
But if your health is gone,
If your health is gone,
that's a different song.
that's a different song.
If your characters die,
If your character dies,
then the world will cry.
then the world will cry.
Only saintly behavior,
Only saintly behavior
lets humanity thrive.
lets humanity thrive.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
You must always remember Krishna
You must always remember Krishna
and never forget him too.
and never forget him too.
But how are we to practice this? There's so many things to do.
But how are we to practice this with so many things to do?
That is the greatest question.
That is the greatest question.
And here's the greatest clue.
And here is the greatest clue.
We must learn to look so nicely that Krishna remembers you.
You must learn to work so nicely that Krishna remembers you.
So listen very closely.
So listen very closely
And make your thinking sharp.
and make your thinking sharp.
Let's learn how we can live in work so Krishna won't depart.
Let's learn how we can live and work so Krishna won't depart.
If something's due tomorrow,
If something's due tomorrow,
finish it today.
finish it today.
Whatever's due today,
Whatever's due today,
do it now, don't delay.
do it.
Now, don't delay.
Your friends might be lazy
Your friends might be lazy
or doing bad
Or
things,
doing bad things,
but you think again,
but you think again,
don't follow them,
don't follow them,
and you will win the end.
and you will win them.
Whatever work we're given,
Whatever work we're given,
we do our very best.
we do our very best.
We only live it all we need and give Krishna the rest.
We only live with what we need and give Krishna the rest.
This is how to live, to work and to play. You learn to live this way, you'll see Krishna every day.
It is how to live, to work and to play. You learn to live this way, you'll see Krishna every day.
And when our time is up, he'll take us up above. We'll sing and dance to him with a heart full of love.
When our time is up, we'll take us up above. We sing and dance with him with a heart full of love.
So chant Krishna's name, his glories and his fame is the only way this world will ever be concerned.
So chant Krishna's name, his glories and his fame. The only way this world will ever become sane.
Now please ask this greatest question.
Now please ask this greatest question
And find this greatest clue.
and find this greatest clue.
You can only remember Krishna.
You can only remember Krishna
If Krishna remembers you.
if Krishna remembers you.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jai Holiness Srila Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj Srila Gurudev ki Jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Krishna Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. Krishna Nitai Gaur Chandra Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Sansangla Parents Day Gaur Purnima Mahotsav ki Jai. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasad Bhutala Srimati Mahavishnu Goswami Tinamine. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasad Bhutala Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinamine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaur Mantra Saraswati. Hare Krishna. So Krishna willing, we'll see you next week or tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then next week. Same place, same time. Till then, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram.